then we can see how is the situation. Then once we are sure, we move on. Then we also said the bars, the nightclubs, the gyms, the saunas, public swimming pools, and hair salons, those ones cannot open for now. What is the main reason? There's no way you can keep social distance when you are working on my absent hair. For me, I don't have hair to work on. But even if I had, if you try to work on it, then how will you keep the distance? Then these nightclubs are opposite of social distancing. Because night clubbing is totally the opposite of distancing. Gyms, you know, you people, I showed you my technique of isolated gym in your own room. I was able to show you that's how I keep fit. And that is a gym which doesn't close. You cannot go there and say, the time is finished, they have closed. No. When I come home at 11, I found Mom already, I just run in the room and do my push-up, the social distance. So S4s, for the S6s, for the undergraduate finalists, for the postgraduate finalists, for the tertiary institutions finalists. The private cars could start being used, provided, again, they observe the distance by having only not more than 3 people inside one car. So these are the relaxation measures we are intending to allow. The question is, when do they start? So what I came to answer here tonight with my team is the when, and that time to prepare properly. Because you remember, apart from social distancing, Tonsemberera, the other safeguard in this whole, and then the other, you know, washing our hands, not touching your face or your nose or your mouth, all those measures. The big measure of safety is putting on masks. Putting on masks, the right masks. So let's use this one week between now and the 26th to explain and to prepare to give masks. Those who can get masks on their own, we don't mind, provided they are the right quality. You will be told by the Minister of Health, they will tell you which are the right quality. They will tell you, even if they are made by our people, our local, our wananchi, they will tell you which are the right type. The ones which are made in the factory, those ones are already checked by the National Bureau of Standards. So this 1 week will be used to prepare this so that everybody, when you are in public. So all will happen from the 26th. We will be relaxed on the 26th and onwards. That is for the shops, the hotels, and so on. Now, for the public transport, that one they should be open in the 95 districts. The other districts which are not near the border should be relaxed on the 4th of June. 2 weeks from now, so that during this time, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Transport have time to discuss with the transporters and make sure that everything is in order. So the 4th of June, that is now for the public transport. The education institutions, again, they will use these 2 weeks to prepare, and by the 4th of June, they will tell you, they will put out their action plan, how things will move. Now, that one deals with the opening of the shops and the other sites. It deals with public transport and deals with the educational institutions. Now, for the border districts, which we said, please, no, there's also the issue of the private cars. Private cars also will be allowed to move on the 26th. Don't start moving tomorrow. Let's first prepare. Even you yourselves prepare. Make sure that you have everything. You have the masks especially, so that when you start moving on the 26th, you have everything you required. Now, for the border districts, we shall allow neither the public transport nor the private ones. Let those districts remain the way they have been as of now. What is the reason? The reason is that you are on the front line. You are the one who can either help save us or destroy us by allowing infiltration from the neighboring countries. But you cannot protect us if we bring in the confusion of vehicles, whether public or private, because then it is even very difficult for the LOCs to check. You hear vehicles moving at night. Where is it going? You cannot get out of your houses to mount roadblocks. People are sleeping. They hear vehicles moving. You don't know where it has stopped, whom it has dropped, whom it has picked. No. Let it remain quiet the way it has been. No vehicles, public or private, in those border districts, until we see how the whole thing works out here in the center. But when it comes to the students who will have to come back and join the other finalists, because we have said that the finalists, if they are the local finalists, the primary schools, those will walk to their schools. Those don't have a problem. The finalists of the border districts, they will just walk like the others. Walk to school and go back to their homes. Even some of the secondary schools are day schools. They are local. They can also walk and go back. But there are those who may be going to other areas. This way the Ministry of Education and the government may have to work out special plans to arrange transport for these children to go from the border districts to where they are required in the center of the country. These are the 4 points that I think needed clarification so that people know what will start when. I thank you and I wish you good luck. Now, for today, I've been told to read the contributions. Oh, they are here? Oh, very good. Oh, the first on top is a man called Yoweri Museveni. who contributed half of the remnants of his salary, which is 1.4 million shillings. Because this president of yours from 1996 gets a salary of 3.6 million, I refused to. The public service tried to convince me to be like other presidents. I hear that other presidents get a lot of money, but I said no. Uganda is a poor country. I don't want to be part of that. Even this 3.6 million I accepted in 1996 after the elections, because some people took a certain line which I accepted. But later on, people did other things. But before that, the president was getting 150,000 shillings between 1986 and 1996. This really, because these countries, especially Uganda, which had had a lot of problems, it's not correct for the public servants to put their country on pressure for higher and higher salaries when there are so many primary demands that need to be handled. So that's why I refused the idea of big salaries for the president. So the 3.6 million each month, the NRM takes 700,000, which is 20% of that 3.6, and that leaves, I think, 2.7. So when I made 50% of that, this is the 1.4. So Mama Janet will see little money for 6 months. The Rotary District, 9,211 for Uganda and Tanzania. They contributed 800 million worth of medical equipment. Tienga Adora, a cultural institution, those are the Badama, the Japadora. They contributed 37 million worth of food and 2.5 million shillings worth of medical equipment. His Highness Mzee Yosam Odur, the Paramount Chief of Lango, contributed 10 million shillings and 5 tons of maize flour. Huawei Technologies is a big Chinese company. They contributed video conferencing equipment donated to State House. So that State House can video conference. Airtel, so maybe I also donated to the Prime Minister's office, to the task force. What Huawei gave me, I give you. Very good. Airtel, 1.2 billion shillings. Afriksim Bank, 760 million shillings. Uganda Bat Limited, 100 million shillings. General Eritumine, 22 million shillings. General Katumba, 20 million shillings. General Ivan Koreta, 22 million shillings. Honorable General Pecos Kutesa, 20 million shillings. Honorable Brigadier General Francis Tachirwa, 20 million. Honorable Brigadier Felix Collins. Honorable Major Susan Lacote Oruni, 20 million shillings. Honorable Sengo Emmanuel Karure, my MP of Gomba, 20 million shillings. Equity Bank Uganda Limited, 2 Toyota Hilux double cabins. Staff of Equity Bank, 100 million shillings worth of personal protection equipment. Madvan Group Kakera Sugar, 2 double cabin pickups. Retired Brigadier General John Mujenyi, 1 Isuzu double cabin. Yoshino Trading Limited, 1 Land Cruiser. Keiso Kugiken Company, 1 Land Cruiser. Karpataru Power Transmission, 1 Tata single cabin pickup. Kawachom Uganda Limited, 1 Tata double cabin pickup. Indian Business Forum, 1 pickup. Indian Association of Uganda, 1 pickup. Invictus Africa, 50 million shillings. Hunan Road and Bridge Contractor Group, 50 million shillings worth of medical equipment. Bayport Financial Service, 38 million shillings. Guangzhou Dongsong Energy Group, 38 million shillings and 5,000 masks. Uganda Hotel Owner Association, 30 million shillings. Kampala Associated Advocates, 30 million shillings. ASA Microfinance, 30 million shillings. Education Service Commission, Health Service Commission, Public Service Commission, 25 million shillings. Best Ingredients Africa Limited, 20 million shillings. Staff of Uganda National Bureau of Standards, 21 million shillings. Association of Secondary Schools Head Teachers, 23.5 million shillings. Ntunga Modere Farmers Cooperative Union, 22.5 million shillings. Louis Dreyfus Company, 20 million shillings. COVID-19 Fund Committee, 16 million shillings. UNI Engineers Company, 15 million shillings. Electoral Commission, 15 million shillings. Judicial officers, 12 million shillings. Yamba Health Products, 10 million shillings. Multiplex, shillings and 4 tons of maize flour. Noble Unity Uganda, Arua, 10 million shillings. Jan Japan Automotors, 20 vehicles loaned for the pandemic. Kampala International Christian Center, 10 million shillings. Fresh Patch Limited, 10 million shillings. MK Publishers Limited, 10 million shillings and sanitary items. Harshedra Taka, Sweden, 10 million shillings. City Abattoir Traders Development Association, 10 million shillings. Besmark Coffee, 5 million shillings. The Vice Chancellor and Makerere University staff, 4,000 liters of sanitizers. Masaka Business Community, 54.5 million shillings worth of foodstuffs. Mepan Technical Services, 51 million shillings worth of maize flour. Water and Environment Sector Partners, 49 million shillings and assorted foodstuffs and medical equipment. Lechiego, Uganda, 38 million shillings worth of foodstuffs and sanitizers. Africa Oil Uganda Limited, 25 million shillings worth. Nairo Energy Limited, gas petrol station, 15.5 million shillings worth of fuel, 10 tons of maize flour. United Nations Capital Development Fund, 15 boxes of surgical masks, 50 boxes of gloves, 100 bottles of hand sanitizers, and 200 face shields worth 10 million shillings. 34.2 tons of maize flour. BAM Petroleum, 5 million shillings. Sipapa, 5 heifers, and food items worth 52 million shillings. Kingdom Media, 388 million shillings worth airtime on Kingdom Media. Rubaya Cooperative Savings and Credit Society, 5 million shillings. Reco Industries, 10 million tons maize flour. Dr. Mutesi Farida, USA, 3.8 million shillings. Nyanza Patch Group, 5 million shillings. Action Africa Head, 5 million shillings. Luero Social Club, 5 million shillings. Mbara Stores Limited, 5 million shillings. The family, 5 million shillings. BAM Petroleum, 5 million shillings. Environmental Health Workers Associations of Uganda, 4 million shillings. Joseph Brown, 3.8 million shillings. Plead, 2.5 million shillings. Architect Stanley and Professor Deborah Murumba, 2 million shillings. This is the Murumba. I started with that entirely. Special Presidential Advisor Jennifer Full Figure, our daughter, 1 million shillings. Whoever I know Full Figure, I'm going to be one. Architect Grace Ginger. Acting in artist means cow. Akiten, the Haifa. So this girl is called Acting Grace. 2 million shillings. Bead Hardware worth 2 million shillings. Not Now East Africa, SMC Limited, 2 million shillings. Hopeland Transstar Company, 3 million shillings. Rainbow Apartments, 3 million shillings. Nazarene Family Makere, 2 million shillings. Premier Hotels Yumbe, 2 million shillings. Aliba Clement, 2 million shillings. Mupalia Foundation, 1.5 million shillings. Dr. Isaiah Tumwichirize, I think. Tumwichinze. Oh. Dr. Isaiah Tumwichinze. That must be Chifumbela name. 1.5 million shillings. Uganda Dental Officers and Technologists Association, gloves worth 1.5 million shillings. Birungi Mary, 1.5 million shillings. Ugandans on Twitter, 1.3 million. Okay. Male Kamia, NRM chairperson, Boston, 1 million shillings. Leonard Rutaro, 1 million shillings. The Point Consultants, 1 million shillings. Restaurant Africa Limited, 1 million shillings. Boch Gustavo Orach Rujwe, 1 million shillings. Coffee World Limited, 1 million shillings. Bishop Elwana Stefano, 100,000 shillings. DFCU, 80 cartons of bar soap, 2,500 liters of liquid detergent, 20,000 pairs of gloves, and 40,000 pieces of masks. That's good. Housing Finance Bank, 30 mattresses, 30 boxes of gloves, and 50 liters of sanitizers. Agriculture Pharmaceuticals India, 1,440 packets of 200 milligram ibuprofen, 1,000 packs of 200 milligrams metronidazole, 1,000 packs of 2,000 milligram metronidazole, and 960 packs of fluoric acid worth 786 million shillings. Dembe Group Imperial Hotels, solar lighting worth 380 million shillings. American Tower Corporation, test kits worth 345 million shillings. Sogea Satam, 29 10,000-liter water tanks and installation in partnership with National Water and Storage Corporation, worth 100 million shillings. Asahi Eito Chubasa Bizex, 1,000 pieces of face masks, worth 65 million shillings. Uganda Communications Commission, 5,000 pieces of masks, 10,000 pairs of gloves, 252 pieces of coveralls, worth 60 million shillings. Africa Queen #1 Distributor Limited, 100,000 pieces, big pens, worth 50 million shillings. TechNet East Africa Solution, 10,000 masks, worth 40 million shillings. Path medical items worth 27.7 million shillings. And 152 Chagaranyi Coffee, who gave sanitizers, 1,000 liters, worth 20 million shillings. I thank you so much. All your donations are intact because I told the committee not to touch anything. I will meet them maybe next week, and then we decide how to use that money. I think some of the vehicles which had been given, we were able to send them to the districts. The ones we deployed at Kololo. So next time when I come, I have to read for the public where those vehicles went, which districts they went to, which institution they went to. So I thank you very much and I wish you good luck.